Alright mates, we continue our journey through the Origin OS, and again I'm making this video based on and thanks to your comments, so I appreciate it so much guys. Let's keep it interactive, and today we'll talk about gaming experience in Origin OS as I was asked about it, so let's go. So, as you might know, IQOO in the first place was indeed created as a dedicated gaming sub-brand to Vivo. Yes, all the IQOO phones were and are meant to have all the gaming-centric features from hardware to software. What do I mean by that is, for example, starting from a dedicated gaming esport chip. It's called Q1 on this phone, maybe some other name on other phones. I believe it's the same, which this chip improves, enhances the frame rate, interpolates, so creates some artificial frames, additional frames, enhances the image quality and so on. And more to that, I believe that IQOO phones were among the first ones in the world, or if not the first in the world, who introduced, maybe the IQOO were the first to introduce this nice feature of the extended RAM, so expanding the RAM on the cost of internal memory. However, I don't believe that. I haven't used this feature ever since I've got my first IQOO phone. So you could try, but I believe 12 gigabytes of fastest RAM, do they work absolutely fine. And so the most special part is this software feature, dedicated gaming space. This is called Ultra Game Mode, and yeah, here is where all the magic comes up. So once we enter it, we see an excessive, I'd say overwhelming and even maybe redundant number of gaming features. We'll go through, I suppose, all of them. Firstly, you need to bear in mind that Origin OS is a purely Chinese operational system, so it's designed to work well, if work at all, in Chinese environment, meaning supporting the Chinese games. But the good news, the brilliant news is that all the global games, meaning installed from Play Store, are supported with these gaming enhancement features. And not only in games, you see that I can switch on the gaming assistant in each and every application, for example, to get the highest available results in some testing, some benchmarks. So that will give this game sidebar in each, being a floating window in each game interface. I'll show you in a moment. Let's get to the features. Oh, you see that floating windows working perfectly as well. So back to the features themselves, starting from some general ones like enhanced vibration. It's called 4D game vibration, but basically it's just enhanced vibration. Whenever you shoot, you kill your enemy, or make some crazy stunt in a racing game, it vibrates into your hands with some more strength. But I switch it off. I'm fine with default vibration rate. Strength, yeah, it vibrates pretty well. Game countdown is a pretty useful feature to limit yourself not to get lost in gaming, but unfortunately it doesn't work with any of the global games. Then screen lights effects, yeah, you can switch it on and have some flashlights, additional lights. Your screen will be lighting while gaming. I don't use it. Control settings, yes, you see that at least one of my games is supported. It creates some additional game controls like virtual buttons. I'm pretty fine with default buttons, meaning moving around and shooting your enemies. And then let's get straight to the features. The most game-centric, I'll call them this way, game-centric, the most useful features of all of them. And these two features are related to frame rate enhancement. The first one gives the frame interpolation, meaning it creates some additional frames in between the real frames. So for smoother view, you'll have a smoother picture, but unfortunately, it doesn't work with any of the games. For example, I'd love this feature to work in Asphalt 9, as Asphalt 9, a default from its developer, has only 60 frames per second as maximum, capped to 60 FPS. But I'd love the Asphalt, this beautiful racing game, to run on 90 frames, but it doesn't work, so sadly. But the other frame rate enhancement feature actually works. It prioritizes, it lowers a little bit the resolution, the gaming interface resolution, in favor of the highest frame rate. In fact, I don't use it, as all of the games I have on my phone and I really play run on the highest possible frame rate, given by the developer. For example, Call of Duty, Shadowgun Legends smoothly run on stable, with no drops, stable 120 frames per second, so stable 120 FPS in each game that supports 120. I've never seen 144 in any game, but 120 are stable, absolutely given, like a default. So it works if you need it, but basically I don't need it on this phone. Let's see how it works in practice. In the gaming interface, you switch to the right and you have this floating window with all the features available. Yes, all the features are on, done. What do I use in practice of all of them? Sometimes I do the record screening. It records the screening. It films me playing. I'll show you how it works later on. And sometimes I could use in some games, when I feel like I need more performance, like in racing, I can switch to monster mode, but very rarely, absolutely rarely. You see that refresh rate is set to the highest. Why I don't do the monster mode? Because the hardware here, basically in any IQOO phone, is such powerful, like the latest generation of Dimensity processor, the latest and fastest RAM, so it works pretty well even in balance mode. So that's it from the theory. Let's get to some practice. The Real Racing 3, in my opinion, one of the most stupid game, as I don't really drive the car. It drives like by itself, but it's only to show you the smoothest gameplay with the highest frame rate. You see up here on the top, here is the FPS meter. It's a third-party application, but it shows you the absolutely stable 120, almost 118, okay, frames per second, and it retains throughout the whole gameplay. Right, here is one of the probably nice games to play. Sorry, I'm stumbling speaking, because for me it's hard to simultaneously play and film a video, sorry. But in any case, here is the, again, smoothest gameplay and highest refresh rate, sorry, frame rate. I'm stumbling speaking, guys, sorry. but you clearly see that the highest frame rate retains, it doesn't drop. Yes, even to 100. Oh, it was 110 maybe, but whatever. It keeps up to 120. So absolutely pleasant to play with such smoothness. I like it. So all the games that support 120 FPS can absolutely easily run on those 120 FPS with no drops. You can see it clearly. So I'm happy with the gaming abilities. Right, here is another RPG role-playing game running on the 120 frames. However, I'm not a big fan of this game. I'm only showing you the highest frame rate. Sorry again. Stumbling speaking while playing. Sorry. But whatever. We clearly see the highest frame rate. So far, no drops in frames. There could be some drops, but whatever. The game runs absolutely smoothly. So play and enjoy the smoothest picture and the highest frame rate. Right, to conclude the gaming experience review of the Origin OS, well, at default it has all the hardware and all the best, absolutely the best software means potentially to be one of the best gaming software for the phones on the market. But given its Chinese origination, yeah, it frustrates every now and then that you can't make the most out of the gaming software even given to you. However, nevertheless, you can run all your games with the highest frame rate possible. You saw my examples. The highest frame rate is absolutely available in all the games that support that rate. So guys, you can easily get yourself an IQOO phone and enjoy all your gaming with no constraints and with no back thoughts. So it was absolutely nice to talk to you. See you later. Cheers.